Yo, what's good everyone? Thank you for tuning in to today's video. As you can tell by the title, we are back again with yet another review. But before we dive in, I first and foremost just want to say a massive thank you to every single person who has ever interacted with my channel. For those of you that don't know, we have just hit monetization for the channel, which is a massive milestone that I genuinely thought I would have hit sooner, but to be honest, I'm so glad that we've hit it now. The community is continuing to grow. We've just hit 1,500 subscribers, 100,000 views, and it is absolutely incredible. It feels so amazing to be in this position. So I truly do appreciate all of the support. It truly means the world to me. And all you guys coming back and constantly supporting my content is just genuinely unbelievable. So I really do want to say thank you to every single person. But if you are new around here, consider joining our community by smashing that subscribe button. Also, do make sure the bell notification is switched on so you never miss a video. And if you do enjoy this video, please give it a massive thumbs up. It truly helps getting this video out to more and more people. And like I say, it keeps expanding our community, which is always appreciated. And if you do want to find me outside of YouTube, you can find me on Instagram over at ACS Sneakers. And with all the formalities out of the way, let's go ahead and dive straight in. So before we go ahead and actually dive into the shoes, like we always do, let's just take a quick look at the shoe box. Now, as you can see, it's that pretty standard Yeezy cardboard box. Across the top, we have the 350 branding, and then across the sides, we have the Boost branding. If we then just take a quick look at the label, which reads Yeezy Boost 350 V2 in the Monmiss colourway, and as you can see, this is a UK size 9. Now, like you see with all Yeezy releases, this is a pull-out drawer. So if you pull this out, on the inside, we have that pretty standard tissue paper, and then underneath that, we have the shoes. So with all that said, if we now just go ahead and dive straight in. So here we go, guys. In hand, we have the Yeezy 350 V2 in the Mono Mist colourway. Now, this shoe is definitely causing a lot of controversy. There's a lot of opinions floating around. So what I'm going to do is the exact same thing I do with all of my reviews. We'll start from the upper, work our way down, and then right at the end of the video, I'll give you guys my final opinion so you guys can see exactly how I'm feeling about this shoe. So if we start out with the uppers to begin with, now the upper of the shoe has been completely revamped from any other Yeezy 350. So instead of that traditional prime knit material, the upper has been decked out using this monofilament mesh right the way throughout. Now that's done in the traditional earthy hues. That's pretty synonymous at this point when it comes to Yeezy. We're all so used to seeing earth-based colorways, and in general, this is pretty much just more of the same. But because they've actually swapped out the prime knit for this monofilament mesh, it does actually mean that the upper of the shoe completely right the way throughout is actually see-through. And as you can see on the underlay, we do have this supportive cage-like structure. Now, I didn't actually think that you'd actually be able to touch it and actually feel the texture of the material on the underlay. When I first saw the pictures, the way I was thinking about it in my mind was we'd have the layer of mesh on the outside, we'd have the cage in between that and the next layer, which would be another section of mesh on the inside, and it would just be kind of like incorporate into the mesh material itself. But I was completely wrong. You can actually see this material, you can feel it underhand, and the closest way I can describe it is it feels like a cloth material. I'm honestly really struggling to sum up how I'm actually feeling about this upper. Especially the cage, it looks super weird, especially on this earth tone colorway. Don't get me wrong, I think it looks really good on the Mono Ice colorway, and I think it is very much colorway specific. This shoe is actually part of a regional release. So here in Europe, we got the Mono Mist colorway. Over in North and Latin America, they got the Mono Ice, the Jammy Sods. And then over in Asia, they actually got the Mono Clay colorway. There is actually going to be a fourth release as well, which is the Mono Cinders. I'm not entirely sure if that's a worldwide release or if that's just another North America exclusive. So if I do find anything else more about that in the future, I will make sure to update you guys in a future video. Now we have to remember, and we have to put this into perspective, for years and years, people have been crying out for Yeezy to do something different instead of the usual 350 rubbish. Be careful what you ask for. Right. So since my train of thought was completely derailed just now, if we just continue on with the rest of the upper. So starting from the toe and moving right the way throughout the lateral side to the heel, we do have this almost diluted purple monofilament mesh stripe. Now this is the exact same material as like we see on all other 350 V2s. So if you have the Zions, the Israfales, or any of the more recent releases, if you kind of want to get a sense of what the entire upper feels like and what the kind of texture is with it, just run your finger across that mesh stripe and that's exactly what this is. So there's no real difference to it. And if that kind of helps you decide if you want to buy this or not, then that's great. I definitely wish I would have known what the material quality was like going into it, because genuinely it came as a shock to me, and I kind of want you guys to be able to have all the information you need, especially if you're going to be buying this off like StockX or GOAT. So if you have any of those shoes, feel the texture of the stripe on the other ones, see if you like it, and if you're fine with it, you should be fine with this as well. But if we then continue to work our way back to the heel, as you can see, we do have that traditional 350 heel tab. I genuinely love to see this on the 350. I love to see it every single time that it's there, and I'm also glad to say that it's actually done in the exact same material as the rest of the upper. I think if they'd have done it a little bit different or used a different material, it would have looked a little bit weird. But because of the fact that it's done in more of that see-through mesh material again, it looks really nice. It makes the shoe a lot easier to get on and off. And just cosmetically, as soon as you see this on the shoe, you know this is a 350. So I'm definitely glad to see it, and I thought it was a really nice touch for this shoe. But if we then just work our way back to the front of the shoe, running right the way throughout the centre, we do have this running stitch. And just above this, we do have these grey rope laces. Now, the laces are actually fed through these plastic eye stays, which I personally felt like was a really premium touch for the shoe. It's not something we're used to seeing when it comes to the 350. It's normally just woven into the prime knit. So this was a really nice touch for me. Probably one of my favourite things about the shoe. Like, in terms of like the colour tone of the eye stays, I just think it works together really well. I'm also really glad that they've not gone with infinity laces, because they could have just completely gone the whole 9 yards and just gone straight into Crazy Town. But yeah, really glad to see that they've just gone with the traditional laces, but they've kind of added that premium touch with these eye stays. But if we then just work our way inside the shoe around the sock liner, we do have this really nice, almost light brown, maybe even light grey colour around the sock liner. And then on the heel of the sock liner, we do have that traditional 3-stripe 3M branding. If we then just continue to work our way inside the shoe, we finally have a really nice pop of colour. So on the insole, we do have this primarily orange insole with the Adidas Yeezy branding. Now, as you've probably seen from that, we do actually have the size label on the actual insole itself. Now, as we touched on, the entire upper is see-through, so realistically, there was nowhere else for it to go. But my only concern with that is, the more you wear this shoe, will it come off? Will it dull over time? So we have a bunch of shoes where we don't know what the size is. It's really weird. Maybe there's would have been a better solution. So, for example, on the reverse of the insole, if maybe they've actually, laser in exactly what size this is. Because I wouldn't be surprised in the future, specifically with the mono pack, if these size labels start to come off, it's going to be very, very difficult without trying the shoe on to be able to understand what the size actually is. So I don't think it's something we're going to see in the future. I think this is definitely going to be something they're going to have to try and test. I don't believe it's going to work, but it is just something to bear in mind. If we then just work our way down to the midsole, as you can see, we do have this semi-translucent rubber midsole with the usual ribbon seen on all other Yeezy 350 V2s. Now, the midsole does also include full-length boost, which makes this shoe absolutely incredible on feet. As far as comfort's concerned, you'll have absolutely no issues. Like I say in all of my Yeezy reviews, as far as I'm concerned, boost is still king. And then switching over to the outsole of the shoe, as you can see, we do have this gum rubber outsole. Now, the actual Ultra Boost itself, you can see peeking through these lines. And then towards the heel, we do have that boost branding. And other than that, honestly, I can't think of anything else that's worth covering on this shoe. So if we now just go ahead and wrap this video up. So just to wrap up this video, in terms of my overall opinion on the shoe itself, I'm going to give these a pretty respectable 5 out of 10. Personally, I'd never really seen myself wearing this shoe. It's just not something that I'd like to have in my own personal collection. So at the end of this video, I'm actually going to be sending my pair back. It's just not a shoe that I'd ever really want to wear. With that said, I'm definitely intrigued to see what the Mono Ice looks like in hand, and I'm definitely considering actually picking that pair up. But I'd really love to get your guys' opinions on this one. Would you buy them? Would you wear them? And did you actually manage to cop on release? Do make sure to leave me a comment in the comment section below. But if you have stuck around to this point in the video, I want to say a massive thank you. If you haven't already, please consider smashing that subscribe button. Also, do make sure the bell notification is switched on so you never miss a video. And if you did enjoy the video, please give it a massive thumbs up on your way out. And I hope to see you all again on the next one.